Hello everybody, welcome to Short Shot Archery. Anthony here, and today I am doing a subscriber requested video, and that is, what is my dream bow? If I could build any bow I want, what would it be? So I actually came up with four bows, and I'm going to go through them. And let me know what you guys think down below. Of course, this is obviously my personal take on it, but I would really like to hear everybody else's take. Like, if you had just unlimited resources to, get by, create any bow you want, what would it be? Is it something that's, a very old bow? Was it something that's, a bow that was maybe only made, in a prototype phase? Is it something that's out now? What would you like to see? Would you like to have bows made out of titanium be common, or something like that? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's get into my dream bows. The first one, I think it's the most realistic, and for me, my bow would be an ILF bow. The riser, of course, would be the MKZ, because at this point in time, I really like that riser. It's my favorite, at least at the moment. Limbs wise, I would do the MK Veracity limbs, but with some runners up, because if money's not an option, I could buy as many sets as I want. The NSG limbs from Win & Win and the Velos limbs from Hoyt, I would definitely buy a set of those each, just because I'd want to try them out and see how they actually perform when in other risers than their own brand. And I think that would be pretty exciting to see how that whole dynamic actually works. I'm not really too concerned about like the sight, stabilizer, plunger, arrow rest. It's basically what I'm shooting now. I wouldn't change any of that. So I'm just gonna stick to risers and limbs for this. So number one there, that was my standard bow. That was my actually technically achievable bow to get. Would be a Hoyt TD4, and I believe they only can use the TD4 limbs. I could be wrong with this. I don't know a ton of information about it, but I've always been fascinated by that riser, and I knew people that owned one at one point. So I don't know. I just thought it was really cool looking, and it turns out there's a lot of history to it, and there's a lot of risers based off of it. So it would be really fun to be able to own just a mint, perfect condition Hoyt TD4. I know you can buy ones that are like used and stuff online, and they're not too expensive, but if money and stuff wasn't an option and resources weren't an option, weren't an issue, I would just go and either remake the most perfect Hoyt TD4 just for the sake of having one, and that would be really cool to have. I don't know, just a piece of archery history. I'd probably go with one that was already produced, not really make my own, but get one that is like that. That mint quality. It could be in a museum. Number 3, a prototype bow, and that prototype bow would be the Matthews Recurve Riser. There's only a few archers out there that actually own them, and it was the only time that Matthews, that makes compound bows, actually got into or was testing out going into recurve, and I just think that's pretty wild. It's a rarity. Not many companies just dip their toe into things, actually hand out risers to top shooters to shoot, and then not go through with it. So I think owning that bow would just be another piece of like archery history, and the fact that it was never mass produced, unlike the TD4, which there's plenty of them out there. The Matthews risers are definitely a finite resource, and for limbs, probably the classic Matthews limbs. I believe they actually are ILF, so you could just go and stick other brands of limbs in there. Number 4, and number 4 is just kind of like a if I had the money and the resources, I would buy. And number four, for the riser, I would definitely try out the Yuka products. I've heard so much good talk about them. They're just really expensive, and that should equate to like a really high quality piece of equipment that's really well made and that functions fantastic. But at the same point in time, uh, you can only put so much somewhere, and basically you can easily spend over $2,000 on just a riser and a set of limbs. $2,000 is like two archery tournaments, or that's for even for X10s. That's a lot of X10s, or other arrows. That's a ton of other arrows. I can put that money to much better use, and have that ability to get that riser and limbs. I would definitely do it because I really want to see how well that bow setup shoots, how well those limbs shoot, because I have yet to meet anybody that has a complaint about that bow company. The only major complaint is the price. But then again, from my experience so far, especially in archery, you pretty much still get what you pay for. If something's really cheap, it doesn't always last the longest. And if it is lasting, sometimes the way it's designed isn't the most ideal. The tolerances are poor with it because it's a very poorly constructed job. Like, it works, but it doesn't work as accurately and as consistently as higher end products. So with that though, I think that wraps up my top four. I know the person that left the comment was probably only thinking I was gonna do one, but when I saw that, I just thought about it a little bit. I was like, I got a good 3 to 4 bow setups that I would really go for, and this is just for Olympic recurve. I could probably come up with my own just for bare bow that I would be interested in. I really don't have a take on compound. It seems like there's a couple classic compound bows that everybody loves, but yes, this is my dream bow setup for Olympic recurve archery. Maybe it'll change in the future. Maybe I can actually fulfill some of these in the near future. I know number one is pretty attainable. Basically, all I'm missing is the riser. But at the same point in time, it would be so much fun to try out the win and the Hoyt limbs. Number two, I could definitely get a beat up Hoyt TD4, repaint it, and find some TD4 limbs, and that would be easy to put together. The prototype Matthews bow is probably another story. I know there's I think at least one company that actually took one of the designs, because they came out with several prototypes. There's different iterations. And they took one of them and made it into a bow that you can buy. But talking to archers that actually, or an archer that actually owns one, they indicated that the one they took for that riser wasn't, in their opinion, the best one. And the one they shoot is actually their personal favorite because it just how it feels. So I want the tried and true one, the one that those archers like the best. And then number four is just, you got money, I buy bows. There's a saying, the quickest way to be an archery millionaire is to start off as a billionaire. Because once you get done buying all the stuff and going to all the tournaments, you won't be a billionaire anymore, but you'll still be a millionaire, hopefully. So with that, I hope you enjoyed my little thoughts on bows and me talking about this. I don't know. It's fun to have dreams and aspirations for some of these things, and I don't know. I really do have a nice appreciation for archery history, and I just really enjoy seeing where we've come from and where we're going to, and then just the path along the way. And it's funny because we sometimes backtrack a little and then move forward again. It's a fun time. So. Maybe I'll do some more of these types of videos in the future. People have really good ideas and stuff, and it really sparks my curiosity. I know people are always suggesting stuff, but I do only have so much time. But this was a nice, easy video. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and as always, happy shooting!